to Miss Rachel, 2-star crown. She's been
almost 2-star crown. Almost 2-star crown. I'm going 2-star crown.
We'll just say 2-star.
But thank you.
So close. Well, this is my lovely beings, and I'm just so honored that I have a whole Brady Bunch full screen, like it's a whole thing.
Oh my God, smiling faces.
So we're just so happy to have you on. How long have you hit crown super fast? Rachel's heart is bigger than anything. She hit crown and just started like supporting her whole family in what
in the Philippines. Philippines.
So she's just sending all her money to the Philippines and like getting her family through school, and just amazing. But I got to meet this woman right off the bat, and just it's like for her to help us in the time for how many people she's helping on her team. It's just, I'm so honored. So take it away. And this is everyone. So please share.
Everyone. I love it. I'm looking at every single one of you, and like I'm seeing like all of your faces and personalities and your like energy. It's just beaming, and I'm just so grateful to be here. Wow, what a big team you have. This is so fantastic. Hey, thanks for helping Kimberly get to green. Yeah. I remember early on seeing you on stage when you hit 14K, and I was like, what? How the heck does somebody get to 14K? I'd never even like imagined that before. And I'm just thinking, wow, okay, I got something to learn from this woman. You got to teach me what are your skills. So yeah, you've been an inspiration, and you have the biggest heart, Kimberly. I think yours exceeds, everything anyone I know. Yeah. Even just like that you share the superfoods, the way you like go to people's houses and you just love them up, and you just like are like, here, like you just have this way of just taking people in, and you've been such an asset to everyone's team and all of Purium. Like you literally, go to all of us and pollinate. You're good. Just send so much love. So yeah, all of you are in such good hands with Kimberly. And what you were saying about my family in the Philippines, I started out this business living in my car, guys. Yes, it's true. About Kimberly. But yeah, I started out, before when I was sick for like 9 months, or 9 years, excuse me, with Hashimoto's autoimmune disorder of the thyroid. And I just made a decision one day. I was so broke. I was like, oh God, we couldn't work anymore. I was super exhausted, fatigued, brain fog, and I just couldn't function. I didn't want to be around people. I was always just, kind of like hiding. And I always had to just have my eyes closed because my head was just not right. And finally, I just made a decision. I said, I'm done. This is it. This is the year 2015. I'm going to change it. I don't know what, but it's going to change. I'm going to have some kind of amazing insight. I'm going to meet a shaman. I'm going to do anything. I was like, maybe I'll take an ayahuasca journey. I don't know. But I was just like, something's going to change. I'm going to find the answer to my health. This is going to be it. And I literally just decided. And I also was like, I'm going to change my finances. I don't know what that is, but I know like I probably need something called residual income. I don't know how to get it. I think you have to be a celebrity. I think you have to be a famous musician, and maybe I need to learn how to play music or something, but like somehow I'm going to figure that out. And I did this thing where I just stepped out of the way and said, okay, all right, God, universe, creator, whatever, like just show me. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm just trusting that you're going to show me the way, and I'm going to find the way. And I'm just making a decision that this is going to happen in 2015. And I had no idea it was going to be coming in the glamorous form of a network marketing company. I was like, what? Wait, that's not like riding my horse through a Sahara desert, but it worked. It worked. It answered every single one of my prayers. I'm like, holy cow, I had no idea it was going to come in the form of this company. And I instantly loved the fact that there was this unlimited income potential. Like, what? Unlimited income potential? What the heck? Like, who's heard of that? I was working $1 per hour as a wedding photographer, struggling, but like I was making, decent money, but I was also struggling to like try to do everything, which is so much work, but I couldn't see how I could get past earn more without working any harder. And so all of that started to clip for me as I joined this company and started seeing like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. Okay, got it. So you like create a team, and then you support leaders, and you help other people make money. Wow, that's pretty cool. So so that's that's how I ended up here. And so anyway, in those first for 4 months while I was living in my car, I was building my Purium business. And the two things I loved about it, one was that it was the cheapest way to live. It was like the most inexpensive food I could find. I'm like, for $2.50, I can feed myself 3 times a day, which was like less expensive than if I were trying to live at home making meals. And so when people tell me like, oh, they can't afford it, I laugh. I'm like, what? That just means you don't understand how inexpensive this is. That just means you don't get the concept of how this can actually save you money. And so part of my every Connect call I'm on, every single conversation I'm in, when I talk about it, I always mention how I've saved money. That's part of every conversation. This saves me money. This is how I lived in my car. You can tell my story to anybody who says I can't afford it. I have to tell you the story about this woman who lived in her car. And this was like the most inexpensive way that she could afford to eat. Like this was literally her homeless food. Homeless people live on Purium. I've had 2 homeless people since then. Same situation as I am. One of them was actually living on the streets, and he'd carry around his tub of Love Shake, Super Meal Love, because that was the most affordable thing to eat as a homeless person that actually gave him nutrients. And he had 17 tumors in his lungs and liver that dissolved while eating this food. So here's this homeless person who is in his 70s, is like sick, and he's carrying around, this is what's saving his life, is this tub of Love Shake, right? So anyway, now you guys have that story in your back pocket. You can tell my story. So I was so that was number one. It's like, oh my God, I can like survive, and this is the most inexpensive food on the planet, and I'm eating better than anyone else outside my car. Like I'm actually eating healthier than anyone walking around the street in their big fancy homes. I can guarantee you I'm probably eating better than them. So that was the first thing I loved. And the second thing was that like I was able to lay in the back of I had a Honda CRV at the time, and I would like sleep, and I was camping in my car, sleeping along the streets of Malibu. I would just drive up and down California and just like be like, oh, this is my luxury life. I get to be in Santa Barbara today. I get to be in Venice Beach today. And I would just like camp in these beautiful places in my car, like just across from the beach on the cliffs. And it was a little scary, but it was cool because I could, do my work from my car, and I was able to build a business as a homeless person from my car. And that was amazing to me. And it worked. And I had plenty of time because I was living in my car. Plenty of time. It's like, hey, if you can't find anybody with a why bigger than that, I mean, shoot, this is the way to do it. So, anyway, that's my story. And now I've, since then I hit crown in 18 months. And I've been crowned ever since, and I'm finally hitting 2-star crown this month. And the reason why is because I figured out a system of duplication, which Kimberly, with your check sheet, that's perfect. That's like what we do in our team. And just to answer too, just to say, and then I eventually ended up, getting into a house, obviously, and then I started helping my family in the Philippines, help them start some businesses. I've put 3 of their kids through college since then, and so this has been, a big inspiration to me. And now my next why is that I want to retire my partner. I want to retire him because he has a very stressful, exhausting work in life, and I'm just like determined to get him retired. So that is my new why, and that's what's propelling me now. But I think I was thinking about talking about the vision call and like painting the vision, because this is, does that sound good?
That would be so wonderful. We were talking about that prior to you coming on, and I just think, everyone is like, yeah, it's important. Organic is important. It's important. The planet, our children, all of it. And I think the people that have children, their why is a little bit stronger than some of us that don't, everybody's different. But I think if to really ground that in, I think that would be really awesome. And then that's just our practicing this so that we can, really embody it. But I'd love for you to share.
Good. So I think I'll just take y'all on a little 5-minute journey then. And this is what I do at the beginning. So if somebody's interested in a business and somebody brings them to me on a Connect call, before they enroll, I make sure to do this with them. I just ask them this question. I'm going to ask you all, I want you all to like go here in this question, right? So I just say to them, okay, Let me just ask you a question. What is your dream life? Like, I know we all feel like we came to this planet for some reason, right? We all have a purpose. We all came here to do something. Now, I'm not saying like include Purium in your dream life. I'm just saying, what is it that you want to create? What is your absolute beautiful world? Who does it include? Who's in this world? Who's in this like dream world? And who does it include? And what are you doing? But most importantly, like, what are you doing? Like, what is it that satisfies you? What is on the deepest level of your being would make you just go, ah, I can breathe. And then not only can I breathe, I can thrive, right? And so for me, like, my fantasy world is living with like a gorgeous view, you know, having like a beautiful, stable home, you know, having a painting, like being able to have a painting studio and being able to paint every day, having like, you know, having a beautiful partner. Like, these are all my like, you know, dream, you know, scenarios, being able to travel, having location freedom, time freedom, living on the beach, hanging out on the beach and surfing, being on the beach all the time. Like, this is my dream world, you know? And maybe your dream world is like, I want to put my kids through college, or I want to get out of debt, or like, gosh, being debt free would be amazing, or like having like a car that functions, that's perfect, that's like my dream car would be amazing, or you know, being able to, you know, just like travel all the time, like just go for like a year-long travel vacation or something like that. So I just want you to just close your eyes for a second and let's just do that, okay? So just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And you came into this world with a purpose. You came into this world with things that really stimulate you and make you feel good and thrive, and something that you feel is like your mission, like the work, the thing that you care about the most on this planet. Maybe it's people, maybe it's a concept, maybe it's a thing, maybe it's saving the planet on some level. But you know, you got to start with your own oxygen mask. So what makes you thrive? What is the thing? Like, if you could just create, if I could wave a magic wand and you could literally create the life of your dreams, what would that look like? Allow yourself to really get big here and to really expand. That's right. Your world, your dreams, your life, the dream for you, your children, your family, your parents. Like, if you could just create this beautiful, beautiful reality, this beautiful earth, clean earth, high vibes, everyone getting along. What would you create? And who would be in it? And what would the people be like who are in it? Who would you surround yourself with? And what would you surround yourself with? Get detailed. What is the climate where you are? What is the light like? What is the terrain? Are there trees, mountains, desert, cacti? What is it that really juices you up? Ocean, lake? All right. So take a deep breath into that. I want you to just allow that to be and just like step into this. This is your reality now. You're in this portal. You've gone through this portal. This is your reality now. And what does that feel like in your body? Are you softening into something? Yeah. And then, so while you're taking that in, just, I like to think of a symbol that symbolizes this feeling. What's a symbol that symbolizes this feeling? Maybe it's, you know, whatever symbol. It could be a thing, or it could be a design. But like, plant that symbol, ground that symbol into your body somewhere, into your heart or into your belly, or somewhere where that symbol is just really gonna live. So that whenever you want to remember this feeling, you can just remember this symbol, or if you see the symbol, to remind you of this feeling. So this is like your activation. This is your now your like talisman. Is this the symbol? Is that feeling? So now we can journey out, and I want you to think about this life you just created, and what are the resources What are the resources that will give you that? What would you be earning per month, either annually or per month, that would give you this life of your dreams, where you get to do all the different things in that, whether it's, you know, have land, garden, farm, have a tiny house, have a big house, have a, you know, have a school, whatever it is that you dreamed. What is a monthly or annual income that'll totally get you there, and you can relax in your life and not be in a, like, either month to month stress or having anxiety, or where you have all those things fulfilled. What is that number? All right. So let's be bold. Go ahead and put it in the chat. And there's no right or wrong. There's no too big, too small. It's just like, you know, just type in some of the dreams, that you were seeing, and a number that would get you there. All right, we got 10K, we got 750 annually. Great. And what are some of the dreams? What are you dreaming into? Thank you. 250 eco home. Earth-based Jedi school. Oh, heck yeah. I'll be coming to that school. For kids. Okay. Maybe it'll be one for adults sometime. Location freedom, big trees, fruit trees, around a garden, traveling with kiddos, healing home. And adults. Okay, good. Thanks for including me. All right, 1 million a year. Yep, that's totally doable. Horses, homes, travel, travel, travel. Yes. Beautiful. All right. So, given that amount, fitness for life. Oh, heck yeah. House with pool and aviary. Oh, that's cool. In 80-degree weather. There we go. We got some details. Debt-free, gardening and travel. Awesome. Okay, these are all great, fantastic. So now, with this in mind, now you've got this like goal, these big goals. Are you willing to would you be willing to give, would you be able to, would you have in your time slot to give 11 to 15 hours a week for this dream to make this happen? And maybe you have more. If you have more, share your hours. How many hours can you put into this? How many hours are you willing to put into this? And what are you willing to give up for this to happen, for this reality to happen? Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I like all those yeses. Okay. Full-time nonsense. I love that. Full-time all nonsense. I love it. I would give up my kids. Yes. Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Well, you can have a nanny. Okay, good. So this is perfect. This is perfect. See? So now you're all in this state, right? So it's like, okay, so what do you do with those hours, right? So what do you do with those hours? So if you can give me that many hours, if you can give me at least like 10 or 11 hours, maybe you can give me 15, then I want you, then here's how you divide up those hours. So for my team, we say 4 hours of Zooms a week. So I don't know how many Zooms you guys attend a week, but I say 4 hours. So we do the Monday maps, we do the Tuesday night with Leslie Zan, and then we have a team call on Thursdays, and then I have an accountability call on Tuesdays, which is kind of like this, right? So that's about 4 hours a week. So I say, like, these are the 4 hours of training. You're going to dedicate 4 hours of training a week. These are the 4 hours. And then you're going to dedicate 6 or 7 hours in 90-minute time blocks. So I like 90-minute time blocks. So I'll say 5 90-minute time blocks where you're committed to prospecting. And so these can include the corporate Zooms, like the mega Zoom, where you're actually having people attend. Maybe you're spending 30 minutes, prospecting for the Zoom and like making sure people show up on that Zoom that day. Maybe you spend another 90-minute block, maybe with an accountability partner where you're just sitting there working for 90 minutes, not talking, inviting to that, inviting to an event, or inviting to the opportunity, however you choose to do it, inviting to this opportunity. It doesn't even have to be an event. So 90-minute time blocks. And I say, can you give me that? And they're like, usually like, yeah, I totally got it. So now what you've done is you've activated their why, you've activated their dreams, they've come back into like their alignment with themselves again of like, what am I here to achieve? And then coming back into this belief that I can do it. And because we're going to show you how. We're going to start with like getting to the first smaller goals to get you to that bigger goal. So when they give me a number like 10,000, I go, okay, I tell them, I go, that's red diamond, that's like black, red diamond goal right there. And so that's totally doable. There's people who are black and red diamonds in this company and beyond. So that's great. So we're going to get you there. And then how are we going to get you there? We're going to take you there for baby steps. Since you're going to be able to give me 11 hours a week, now we can give you some baby steps to get there. We're going to start with smaller goals. And the first goal, we're going to help you. We're going to train you in 10 days to get to consultant. So your first 10 days getting to that consultant mark, which is a $100 bonus, is your training period. Now your training period is going to last longer than that, but this is your intensive training period where I'm going to be right there with you in all of your posts. I'm going to be getting up in your business going, who's this? Who's that? Who's this? Did you send that person the message? Did they like all those people who liked? Did you send them all a message? Send them all a message? Send them all a message? All those people who commented, did you put them in your funnel? Put them in your funnel? Put them in your funnel? So I'm just like, and I'm going, tell me what you said. Send me a picture. Send me a text message. Show me what you're doing. I work with my team like we are like locked in arms. Like we're Siamese twins. Like they can't get rid of me. Because they said they want to do it. So now I'm going to help them do it. So Fraser Brooks is one of my favorite network marketing geniuses. Fraser Brooks is, he's got a Facebook page. You can actually follow him. He's really funny. He's really cool. He's got a British accent. He's super cute. And he taught me that if you want to take, so people, there's like people on the mainland, and then there's like this beautiful fantasy island, right? And you got to bring people over to that island, but that, from here to the island is like a gator pit. It's like an alligator pit. And it's like, you got to get them to cross that island and to over that pit to the island. But you got to take each one across, right? You can't just be like, hey, get over, I'll meet you over on the island. We're over here. Hey, it's really great over here. Come on. You got to actually go over there every time through the gators, grab them, show them how to get across the gators, build a bridge, get across the gators, and then get back to the island. And so that's what it's like when they're going for consultant. They're like going across that gator pit. Super terrifying. I have to go live on Facebook? Oh my God. I've never done it in my life. I can't do it. Right? But they got that why. So they're like, but maybe I'll push my edge because I've got this big why. And I know if I can just like get over it once, that maybe I can get over it again and again. And so I get them over that pit. How do I do that? With the Widen Your Reach promo, I say, interview me. Your first live is going to be an interview with me, or an interview of one of the people on your team. You get to choose who you interview, but you're going to interview somebody. And so the very first live is an interview. That way there's two people on, you don't have to say a word. And this is how I'll train you to use the technology. And now they're in. They've done an interview. They're in. They're like, holy cow. I did have this woman, she was brand new the other day. She could not get me on her live to save her life. And we were like, she couldn't figure it out. And then finally, I was able to find the request to join button, but she'd already started on her story. She was already off and running and she was already there. And I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to unrequest. I'm going to cancel my request because she's on a roll. I'm going to let her do it. She's crossing that gator pit all by herself. So I'm like, okay. So I just watched her do it. And then she went live 3 more times. She went live on Facebook. She did stories. I was like, holy hell, now she's on fire. Now I can't even stop her. She's like, oh, I totally did it. She's like, I was so nervous, but I did it. And so then she's going to do it again. She's going to interview another person. So I always give them like 5 specific action steps. I'm like, here are your 5 first lives. First one's interview me. Second one's interview someone else. Third one's interview someone else. Then your box arrives. Now it's a box opening video because now you're comfortable. You've been on live, 3 times already. So now you're comfortable. You're going to do a box opening video and then you're going to share your story. Oh, I feel like crap today, or I feel great today. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Because now people are just watching your journey until the end. So you just let them watch your journey every day, up and down. User ratings shows in TV. If you're like in TV, they say, yeah, like as soon as there's conflict, everyone's like, I got to watch the next episode. So show them, oh my God, I had diarrhea today. It was terrible. Like, let them see that. Be authentic, be real, be yourself, So TMI is always good. Too much information and you will totally gain an audience. Like they will be there. Oh my God, she said that. Holy cow, I'm going to watch the next episode. Right? So there we have it. Get them across that gator pit, help them move through that fear. but you get them, but they will not budge into that fear until they have their why, until you've had that vision call with them, right? So always before they even enroll, I'm like, have that vision call with them, because I know that they're already interested in becoming a brand partner. This is for people who are like ready to sign up. Then I do that, right? Sometimes somebody gets through the cracks, somebody signed up someone with a brand partner and they don't know anything about the fast start. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, hold on. Let's go over there, do their vision call really quick, tell them about widen your reach promo and tell them about the UBT. And then we bring them back over the gator pit. So how's that in a nutshell? Any questions or comments? Would love to hear from y'all. Feel free to come on.
Does anyone have any questions for this rock star?
I have a question.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, thank you for taking your time for us.
My pleasure.
Mine are kind of all over the board. Where I'm struggling right now is a couple things. One, I'm struggling having repeat purchases. Like I keep checking in on my customers, but I just have them not really buying again. And that's frustrating for me. And even a couple that I've set up on Smart Order, they've canceled their Smart Order and they're like, well, we still have product. Clearly they're not drinking 2 shakes a day or taking it, but I can't push them to take more than they're doing. I mean, I try and I explain to them over and over again how much better they'll feel if they're doing it the way I think they're supposed to be doing it or whatnot, but I can't, and so that's one question. The second question is I struggle a little bit when it's friends or family of mine because I don't want me to be like pushing something that they're, I don't want to be selling per se something as much as I believe in it. And I do believe in it with all of my being. This is people that I love and I don't want them to, like a couple of my friends aren't calling me back right now because I feel like they think every time they're talking to me, that's what I have to be talking about. And so I'm curious how that works for you. And then my third question is, where did you, in those 15 months that you went to Crown, where were you finding everybody? Was it all through Facebook? Like, were you just reaching out to the world on Facebook? How did you find everybody?
A really good question. I was mostly using social media because I'm shy, so I was hiding behind social media. I was like, I'll just post. And I had a few friends that I was, would talk to, and I'd be like, oh wow, why don't you do this? Because it just came up naturally in conversation. But I wasn't like super aggressive in the beginning. But I found people who were better than me. And that's what really catapulted me, was finding other leaders who were like much stronger, like people like Kimberly, who's like, oh, she got to 14K. Okay, great. Because I don't know how to get to 14K, So, but like in the beginning, I was shy. Now I reach out all the time. Now it's like, no problem. It's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, you want to do a business with me? Let's collaborate, So
right.
It's like, always like, let's collaborate. Hey, I love what you're doing. Hey, I thought you might want, I'm doing something really cool too. I'd love to, see if you want to have a conversation and see if we can collaborate. So for me, it's always leading with the business and always asking for collaboration. But to answer so there are a lot of really juicy, these are really great questions and I want to answer them all. I need you to ask me again, but
okay.
As far as, where I found them, social media was definitely a big place with sharing stories. But my question to you is about this relates kind of to the last two questions, but before people sign up, are you building up the story of the 90-day transformation of like, it's a 90-day thing?
No, okay, I haven't been on it for 90 days yet.
Okay.
So
yeah, I understand that. A lot of times we feel like if we haven't done it, it's hard to sell it. It's true. It's easier to say it if you say I've done it, right? However, if you know that this is a 90-day transformation, you're like, hey, you're joining me on this 90-day transformation. We're on a 90-day transformation together, right? So like you want to like really let people know that it takes 90 days to really, really feel the results to continue to come in. And especially if they're going for weight loss. It's like, hey, you know what? You need the Smart Order for 3 months to force you to take those 2 shakes a day because you know you want to do it. And this is what's going to hold you accountable, is having that Smart Order. So that's one way. but always in the connect calls. Are you bringing connect? Do you guys do connect calls in this team?
No, I haven't been very good at that yet.
So I really, really recommend, as soon as you start to bring calls to Kimberly, that is when the magic will start to happen, because she knows this and out, and that'll be your training. You're going to get trained. Connect calls are for your training. So if you bring somebody else, like, people who are brand new, it's like, I don't expect them to talk about the price. I don't expect them to like know all this stuff, but they're going to learn on the connect call. And on the connect call, I'm like, okay, listen up here. Let's talk about your 90-day transformation. Go ahead to Kimberly.
Rachel, I just want to be curious with you. Like, I feel like sometimes everyone's in a piece of the conversation. Like, what's the perfect segue to feel really at ease to bring the three-way call into the conversation so that they feel not bombarded? And yeah, go ahead.
That is a beautiful question. So here's where I find number one crack in the funnel where people have the hardest time. Whenever I go through my downline, I go, what's the problem? Like, you have all these people interested. How come they're not buying? So now I understand. It's like, oh, okay, it's usually the connect call issue. Like, I don't know how to get people on a connect call, right? And so here's how I train my team. We say, there's a, it's like, this came to me from Tracy Fujikani. Like, I learned from her, which is, get them on. Don't say, hey, do you want to meet my friend? Nobody wants to meet a third person. They're going to be afraid of being upsold. They're going to be afraid of it's intimidating. I don't know what that person's about. This is really personal. I have diarrhea. I don't want to talk to another person about my issues. So there's all these reasons why people are not going to want to get on a connect call. And plus, they don't even know what a connect call is. What's a connect call? And then, okay, connect call with my upline. What the heck's an upline? So I just say, hey, I'd love to get on a call with you. So let's figure out. There's a lot of different options. I want to make sure you get the right one. Let's talk. So first of all, just get them on a call. Period. Just get them onto a call with you. I make sure, hey, Kimberly, you available? I'm going to have, Kim. I'm going to have Vicky on a call at 3:00. Will you be free today or tomorrow at 3? Oh yeah, you will. Okay, awesome, cool. So just stand by. Okay, now I got this person on a call. Hey, Vicky. Oh my gosh, what did you think of all that stuff? All the, with the stories and the link I sent you. Oh wow, you're like, I think it's really cool. I'm really interested. We got this far, and so I go, gosh, you really, I really would love for you to meet my friend Kimberly. She is so amazing. God, Kimberly is just like, she has transformed her life with these products, and she has a great story. And not only that, she's just super cool, just an amazing human being. She just loves everybody up. And I would love for her to like help you get started and like make sure you get everything right. But more than anything, I really just want you to hear her story. And I actually told her I was going to be on a call with you. And she said, oh my gosh, I'll totally talk to her and tell her my story. So yeah, I'd love to get you on a call with her. I mean, I would love to just add her to the call, and then she can tell your story. And you're like, okay, all right. Like, people just say, okay. Like, I don't say, is it okay if I get her on a call? Would you mind if I add her in? It wouldn't bother you, right? Like, my inner posture is like, you've got to meet this woman. She is amazing. She is amazing. And I told her all about you. She would love to share her story. She would love to meet you. I'm going to add her. I'll add her to the call. Okay. Okay. Add Kimberly to the call. I do a nice introduction. I always like to introduce the prospect first and then introduce the upline, because it creates a natural segue for the upline to start talking first. So, I'm like, person, you're awesome. Kimberly, you're so awesome. Yeah, I'm just going to turn it over, and then Kimberly's just going to jump in, say, hey, what's inspiring you about Purium so far? That's always my question.
That's great. Because we were like totally over analyzing that the other day. Kimberly and I were like, well, how are we going to get this person to be on the call with us without making it weird?
It's an art. And it's really all about, like, I want you to meet my friend, and I want her to share her story. I want you to hear her story. And that's how my first connect call was, with Sarah introducing me to somebody in Hawaii who had a similar story. I was like, okay. So Leslie Zan is actually, eventually we're going to be introducing pop. We started doing pop calls. This is like where you can actually have, like, if your upline's not available for like an hour-long call, then I just get somebody on the call just to share a 5-minute story or a 60-second story. It doesn't have to be long. That way you're not bothering your teammates. But you can get a teammate on the call, even if they're not in your team, even if they're not in your upline or downline. So that's what Leslie Zan has been teaching us, and it's been amazing. My team is actually doing it. So we've just been experimenting. I've been experimenting with the leaders just to like learn how to do that and just to get another person to share a story. But when the person is brand new, I say your first 10 connect calls have to be with me. Like your first calls, so you get that training are going to be with me. So you hear how I talk about price, and you hear me break down the smart order story, the 90-day story. I'm going to talk about saving money, smart orders, 90 days, how I've been on the core for 5.5 years. I'm going to tell my story. Those are the things that they're going to get out of the call.
Okay, but then when you're telling people for 3 months, you're basically asking them to spend like $1,000 though.
I'm telling them to buy their first month and to get on a smart order, which, so the first month is $11 a day for 2 meals a day and your supplements. And then are you frozen?
Yeah, I was frozen for a second. Sorry. So how much is 3 months worth of product?
Well, it doesn't matter what 3 months is because they're not buying 3 months at once. They're buying their food 1 month at a time. So the first month is $11 a day for 2 meals a day for 60 meals. 60 meals in a month. That's like 2/3 of your food for 2 meals a day. $11 a day. Hello, like most people spend $11 on a meal, right? Does anybody else here spend $11 on a meal easily? Right. So 2 plus your supplements for only $11 a day. It's ridiculous. It's like that savings is unbelievable. Even if that wasn't including supplements, that would still be a good deal, right? $5 a shake would even still be a good deal. So that's that. And then ongoing, you're going to get the Core 4 daily, which is only $6 a day for a meal and your supplements, to do that once a day ongoing, which is $189. I always tell them the daily price before I tell them the full price. The daily price is this. And then I tell them that's how 60 meals. And then I tell them, and this, you're going to get $100 off through Kimberly or through Vic. You can get $100 off. Normally the price, I always say the high price first. Normally the price is $429, but you're going to get it for $329.
And the Core 4 is enough for them to have?
It depends on their goals. If their goal is weight loss, then I say you're going to do the Core 4 twice a day for 2 meals a day, twice a day ongoing until you achieve your goals. And then once you get to your weight loss goals, then you can go to once a day. By then you're trained. And I always let people know, I go, this is a lifestyle transformation. This isn't like you do this and then you go back to your regular eating, or you're going to end up right. If you go back to what you were doing, you're going to end up back where you were. So I let them know, I'm very honest with them. I'm like, this is a lifestyle transformation. This is going to help you curb cravings. This is going to help you change habits. This is going to naturally make all those things fall away. And you're going to find yourself eating, like wanting to eat cleaner and greener on the other side. Yeah, you can still enjoy, holidays and like go to a wedding and have wedding cake, whatever. You can still enjoy all that stuff, but you're going to have a lifestyle that's consistently clean and green.
Thank you.
I feel you guys.
You're amazing.
You're welcome.
Well, we're definitely, go ahead, Joy.
Can I ask just one quick thing, and you can make this really short for me? When you talked about 5 to 7 hours of prospecting in 90-minute time blocks, prospecting would be like if I went live and everyone who liked it and everyone who commented, I reach out to them, I connect with them, see how they're doing. If they're interested, I send them to a call. That's what you're referring to. It's not like going through my phone, like who should I approach today?
It includes both. Yeah, it's both.
Sure. But that's how you make it into like 6 hours. It's like you get active on social media, you respond to everybody, you follow up, you connect them to the call, you make sure they're getting on the call, that type of reality.
So on Instagram, everybody who follows you, or on Facebook, everyone who adds you as a friend, you want to send them a voice memo. Every single person who follows you and every single person who likes your post, you're gonna either send them a voice memo. Every person who follows you, send them a voice memo. Every person who likes your thing, send them a message. Thanks for liking my post. Thanks for liking my post. I don't know what your post was. It depends on what it is, but you're gonna create an interaction out of that, right? Your interaction might be like, I'm really passionate about what I do, and I either might talk to them because I'm like, oh, I see what they're doing. I can see you're up to doing something similar. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Give them a chance to talk about their business, what they're doing. Or I might say, I'm really passionate about what I'm doing, and I use Instagram to build my business. And I'm curious if you know anyone who might need more, who might want might want to like improve their health. This is what I do, with the 30-day protocol. Do you know if you know anybody? So that's another thing. I mean, it's like every person's organic. I really coach people to like just be yourself as much as you can. Whatever feels like, you got to find that congruence, like what feels in alignment to me to say. But what's going to inspire that alignment, what's going to inspire what you're going to say is the intention that like, I'm either going to see if they have somebody they know, or I'm going to ask them to collaborate, or I'm going to ask them about their own self and find out enough information that they might be interested in this. I'm always going to ask them about themselves. So you're welcome. Joy, who's going to make $1 million a year with the Jedi School. I can't wait. Excited. I actually want to do ninja. I want to do the ninja. I want to do the whatever. I don't even know what it's called, but I want to do it.
Just want to be a ninja. I have 2 ninja kids. They need a Jedi school. I'm not the like only teacher that can serve them. They need a team of like masters to show them how to channel the energy that they have. So I'm all about it.
So epic. That is so epic. Yeah.
Is there any more burning questions? We're totally so thankful. I'm super thankful for all of you staying on longer than our hour, but this was just more than priceless, and I'm so excited it's recorded.
Can I ask a quick question? Do you mind? Or, as a non-fitness person, I mean, I'm a healthcare practitioner, massage, et cetera, wellness coach, but I really want to join that fitness pack because I think it's invaluable. And sometimes I don't feel like I have the what to say to somebody that I have a couple clients or friends that are triathletes and I'm just me. What would I know? Because they've probably tried everything out there. And I understand the purity and stuff, but sometimes just looking for like a little hook.
So if you have clients who are like who are fitness clients, I mean, for one thing, do you have any of these packs showing in your space where you see clients? Do you have any of these packs? There it is. All right. Okay. So you could have a holistic fitness pack too. And you could just tell them, I have a holistic fitness pack. I think you should check it out.
Okay.
You know, just talk about the holistic fitness pack. And you can talk about your friend Rachel. You know, my friend Rachel, I'm your friend now. So your friend Rachel, you know, was like struggling with her health, and she was, you know, had Hashimoto's, and she had adrenal fatigue, and she was living in her car. Everything was like a mess. And then she started using these products, and she got herself totally into champion status. Like now she's like a pro champion bodybuilder. You know, she's like won the pro champion cup, and she's just like, you know, she just like she went from like sleeping 5 times a day to now she's, you know, an international physique league champion.
Thank you.
I have that story. You can share that as much as you want.
Okay. Will do.
Post. So I'll give you guys a secret. So on Instagram, we have this hashtag Core4 launch. All of my people put their before and afters in hashtag Core4 launch. You can send those stories to people. You can tag people in those stories, and you can actually add to those stories using hashtag Core4 launch. Share your before and after story, and then you put the number 4. You're going to do hashtag core, then the number 4 launch. And then if you like share your before and after stories, you want to make sure that hashtag is in there. The only thing about those hashtags is some of those people might say like, hit me up if you're interested, and you don't want your person hitting that person up. You want your person hitting you up. So send them the message and just say, hey, this is my friend so-and-so, or this is, you know, someone on my team. This is their story, just so you get an idea. So that way they know that you're like, it's like they're still connecting back with you to get the product. So yeah, hashtag Core4 launch, go check it out. My story's in there. You can find my before and after pictures. Like it says transformed in 90 days. It's got my fitness picture and then my before picture, which was like 25 pounds overweight. And I did that in 90 days. So there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you so much. I love this team. So cool. This is great. You had great questions, and I'm so grateful to be here.
Thank you so much for your priceless time. Precious. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. See you next Saturday. See you on Monday next. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, and definitely let's connect. I'll connect with all of you. We'll get all the calls together, and Tammy we'll do some interviewing. Be awesome.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Kimberly.